UFC 286 is live this weekend from the O2 Arena in London. In the main event, we have the trilogy between Leon Edwards and Kamaru Usman for the welterweight title. Leon Edwards became the first man in recent memory to knock out Kamaru Usman with a vicious head kick KO. Usman hasn't fought anyone since. He has had a surgery on his right hand, and Edwards would be his first fight back. However, in the 8 rounds that the two have fought, Usman has dominated most of them. In the last fight, too, he was winning decisively until he got stopped. Leon Edwards, on the other hand, is the only guy to have ever taken Kamaru Usman down. In their last match at Salt Lake City, Leon was struggling. The fight was at high altitude, and in Leon's own words, he didn't know what was wrong with him. However, even on his worst day, he still found a way to win, and that too by knockout in the 5th round. That will definitely play in Usman's mind in the rematch. What kind of Kamaru Usman turns up in the rematch is a question. He won't be short of any motivation, that's for sure. Leon Edwards must be sharp and he must use his leg kicks. He was demoralized in the last fight and he was getting outworked by Usman for the majority of the fight. Everyone remembers his coaching advice at the end of round 4, where his coach continuously was trying to cheer him up and say that don't feel sorry for himself and just give his whole heart, his whole performance. In front of his home crowd in London, Leon Edwards will be motivated and eager to put on a show. It's going to be a great fight nonetheless, and a fitting end to a very good trilogy. In the co-main event, we have Justin Gaethje versus Rafael Fiziev. Gaethje is the most violent man in the UFC. His fights are violent as I have advertised. He has won the most number of Fight of the Nights awards. In Fiziev, he has the perfect dance partner. He is a dangerous counter striker and extremely precise with his striking. His knockout of Renato Moicano is one for the highlight reels. Fiziev has been calling out Gaethje for quite some time now, and this fight has Fight of the Night written all over it. Both of them would stand and bang, and neither would wrestle. Gaethje is an all-American wrestler, but he has fallen in love with his hand so much that he never uses his wrestling. Gaethje mustn't be wild and leave himself open like he did against Charles Oliveira. Otherwise, he would get knocked out even sooner because Rafael Fiziev is a dangerous and decisive striker. However, if Gaethje can weather the storm and land his own shots, the fight can get really interesting. This fight will also be a battle of the leg kicks. In Gaethje and Fiziev, we have both of two of the most vicious leg kickers in the UFC. This fight promises to be one of the best fights in the card. Another fight to look out for is Marvin Vettori versus Roman Dolidze. Now, Vettori is coming off a loss to Robert Whittaker and previously to Israel Adesanya, and he needs to do something spectacular in order to get back into the reckoning for the middleweight title. In his fight against Dolidze, he is definitely the favorite, but he must do something spectacular to remind the fans and the UFC brass just how good of a fighter the Italian dream Marvin Vettori is. UFC 286 also sees the return of Gunnar Nelson after the 3-year layoff. What kind of Gunnar Nelson comes into the UFC will again be a thing to see. Let me know in the comment section what you feel. And if you like the content, please like and subscribe to the channel.